Tonight, we are very fortunate to have Cherie Rucker sharing about the various opportunities available at the Center for Individuals with Physical Challenges, including adaptive sports and more. Cherie is the Director of Community Engagement at the Center for Individuals with Physical Challenges. She is a passionate marketing and program development professional who blends creativity with strategy to help organizations grow and thrive. From designing K through 6 educational programs to leading impactful social media and fundraising campaigns, she's known for her hands-on approach and heart-led leadership. Currently, Cherie is the Director of Community Engagement, and she brings a unique mix of creativity, heart, and strategy to every project. From managing six-figure fundraising events and producing multimedia content to leading social media campaigns and designing educational curriculum, her work consistently drives impact and connection. Beyond her professional achievements, Cherie is a proud mother of 7 and a devoted dog mom to 2 pups she counts as part of the family. She's fueled by a love for community, a passion for storytelling, and a fierce belief in helping others succeed. Whether she's behind the camera, hosting a podcast, or planning a gala, Cherie brings energy, joy, and authenticity to all she does. In her spare time, you'll find her lifting weights, playing sports, or dreaming of her future as a full-blown homesteader, growing food, raising animals, and creating a space where hard work and heart can come together. So thank you so much for being here, Cherie, and I'm gonna pass it to you, and I'll let you share your screen.
All right. Hi, you guys. I am Cherie. I don't know about any of you, but it's always so weird when you hear someone else reading your bio. You're like, oh, did I say that? I said that. Okay. All right. I am the Director of Community Engagement for the Center for Individuals with Physical Challenges. I'm going to share my screen and bring up a slide to kind of help me stay on track. I like to chit chat all the time. Let's see, where is my present? All my Zoom stuff's in the way of my screen. Slideshow, there we go. And play from the beginning. Okay, this is the center. We just call it the center because we know the title of our facility is a bit of a mouthful, but it covers all the bases. We are the Center for Individuals with Physical Challenges. So this is for any individual from the age of 6 to end of life dealing with any type of physical challenge. Could be with a born disease like cerebral palsy or a traumatic brain injury, or even a stroke survivor, people who've been in car accidents. We have blind, hard of hearing, and just any type of challenge you could think of. We are equipped to hang out with you. Let me get to my next slide here. Okay, our mission is to provide opportunities for people with physical challenges to enhance the quality of their lives. I don't know how many of you personally are dealing with individuals with physical challenges, but I'm guessing a good handful of you are, since you are here. Especially if it's dealing with youth and on into life. I think the hardest part about dealing with a physical challenge is your loss of independence and the feeling that you can do things on your own. And that becomes a critical part of who we are at the center. We really believe in providing these opportunities that really help enrich the lives of individuals who face, when you already have a physical challenge, life is hard enough. You should have somewhere to go where you feel like this is your place, your home away from home. And I'd like to think the center is just that. We offer a variety of services at the center. We have adaptive recreation, adaptive sports, deaf and hard of hearing department, rehabilitative fitness and services, transition, I can't talk, transition services, and youth programming. So there's a lot of different facets to the center, and we're going to kind of go through each piece real quick, and I'll try to spend a good amount of time on our adaptive sports and our youth programming. So we'll start with Adaptive Fitness Center. Our fitness center is incredible. So this facility, the center as a whole, is huge. It's, I think I already said this, but it's 75,000 square feet. When I first came to take a tour of the center before I was working there, could not believe I like met my steps in one day, just like doing a tour. It's a huge, huge building and 100% worth a tour to just come check out. Our Adaptive Fitness Center is basically a gym, a fitness gym. And each machine, you are able to get a chair underneath it. It's completely catered to those with physical challenges. And this isn't just any gym. Don't think you're settling for the center gym. I am a bit of a gym rat myself. I love to lift weights. It's something I feel passionate about. And so when I was working here, I started working here, they said, you know, on the off hours, staff can use the gym. So I thought, oh, I'm going to go check out their gym. Might as well save me a gym membership. So I go and check it out. This is one of the nicest gyms I've worked out in ever. This is great. I got to use this gym. This is great. So even me, who's very physically able, I can use this gym, and it's incredible. All types of fitness happens in here. You can opt to do some one-on-one personal training, and our personal trainers are fabulous because you can tell them what your physical challenge is, what your goals are, what you're trying to accomplish, and they help set you up and get you to meet those goals. It's incredible. The gym's always open and available during normal business hours. And so it's a very popular spot at the center. And then this is the main facility gym, our main gym. We have two different gyms. In this gym, we do anywhere from beach volleyball to a big fan favorite. They call it Bert Ball. So Bert is our adaptive recreational director of adaptive recreation. That's what it is. And he has been at the center for over 25 years. He's very well known to every member in that building. And he plays a lot of these games, and they like to throw the ball at Bert. It's called Bert Ball. It's a lot of fun. It's really great. But we have tons of other fitness classes we have in here. So like seated abs, we have an adaptive boxing class. We have even an adaptive dance class to show you some different things you can do from within your chair or whatever might be your physical challenge. I love, we say we're an adaptive recreational facility. And when I first started working here, I didn't really understand what that means, but this means recreation. So when you think as an able-bodied person of recreation, the world's our oyster. We could walk onto any court, into any gym, and depending on your skill level, get in there and get going. For people who are physically challenged, that's such a hard thing just to get from point A to point B, let alone enjoy recreation. And so that's our whole goal here, is to have activities and things for people to come and feel like this is where they belong. At the center, if you're able-bodied, you're the odd man out. Everyone there is rolling and cruising. You get almost run over several times by those fast wheelchairs, but it's great. It's great. Art studio. So our art studio is incredible. We have a huge facility with amazing artists. One thing I love about offering things like art is because a lot of times let's say you were in a car accident or you suffered a stroke and you've never had to deal with a physical limitation. And so there we come into that losing that independence. And so, excuse me, we come back to this place of, what do I do now? What am I supposed to do? And we like to think that at the center, you can be exposed to several different things and possibly find new passions you didn't even know you had before your incident. John, who's this gentleman right here in the center photo on the slide, he was a firefighter. He was a really tough and gruff kind of man. If you think of what a firefighter is, he was it. That was John. And he suffered a very severe stroke and lost the left side of his body and most of his ability to communicate, where he can understand just fine, but trying to get the words out just doesn't come the same, which is very common with stroke. John had never painted before coming to the center and is now one of our top artists. It's really incredible that he found this passion. And every year at the center, we do what's called Holiday Mart. It's the first weekend in December, and all the members come and they're able to sell their art and make money for Christmas. And they're able to keep those funds. 80% goes to them, 20% comes back to the art room to replenish supplies, but they get to keep their money. And it is such a fun experience to come check out the center for Holiday Mart. Really neat things. Amazing creations, from art to crochet to, they have stained glass. We have a kiln and clay work. I mean, there's just, the possibilities are endless in the art world at the center. Horticulture. This is my favorite place to escape when it feels like a hairy day at the center. This picture is an older picture. It doesn't even do it justice. We just last year were selected as a natural habitat garden because of the flowers and plants we grow is so supportive to the native birds and bugs of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And so we actually got special recognition for that. But the members actually are the ones that grow fruits, vegetables, flowers, whatever, and we give them away to the members once everything's ripe. But it is completely incredible. Bob is a master gardener and he runs the horticulture department. It is just beautiful. We have a Facebook page, which I mentioned. I run our Facebook page, but I just did a post on our horticulture and the stuff they're growing. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Get on there and check it out. Gorgeous. Okay, Hardesty Family Adaptive Sports. So a couple years ago, we added on an addition to the center. I think it was, I can't remember if it was right before COVID or right after. It was before I joined the center. Anyway, they added the second part of the center. We call it the Hardesty Family Adaptive Sports Complex. And it's a second gym and it's state of the art. And we have amazing adaptive sports, from wheelchair basketball, wheelchair softball, wheelchair tennis, pickleball, bocce ball, goalball, power soccer, and I'm sure there's more. There's so many sports here and available, and many of our sports teams travel regionally to compete with other wheelchair teams. And so there might be, I know our guys and gals have gone to Texas, they've gone over to Kansas. Where were they at last year? It was somewhere really far. I was pretty impressed. But they travel around on the weekends and compete in other tournaments with other people with physical challenges. It's fabulous. We also have, we are a Paralympic powerlifting training center. So for powerlifting, it's where you're like doing the bench press with the bar. We compete at Endeavor Games every year. And the last 2 years, our gal Leslie has taken first place. She is 65. She takes place in her weight class, and they want her to go further. They'd like her to pursue it further, which I just think is phenomenal to be at her age. She's an amputee. She's missing a leg, and here she is powerlifting. To me, it's the epitome of what we do here. In the adaptive sports another mouthful title at the center, but the adaptive sports complex has an indoor walking track. It's above ground or above the gym, so you can see over, and there's additional workout things in there, and they do rowing and different things there. Our yoga studio is really phenomenal. Again, this is this picture doesn't show, but these little holes on this back wall here, those are actually right now have these purple straps in them. And so what this does, our amazing yoga instructor comes and actually helps put the members into these straps, even people that are completely quadriplegic, meaning they're not able to move. And so just because you're not able to move on your own, these parts of your body, doesn't mean they shouldn't be moving. It increases the atrophy a lot by not moving those parts. And yoga has become this beautiful support for many of our members, but we can put them into the straps to help them get into the position, the yoga positions. It's a really neat sight. It's really, really neat to see them in there doing it. Very popular class at the center. The Hardesty Family Adaptive Sports Complex rock climbing wall. If any of you have driven by our building, there's this giant cylinder looking thing. You can see it from the outside and everyone thinks, what is that? What is that? And we let them know it's our rock climbing wall. And yes, you can climb a rock wall, even if you're physically challenged. This is a beautiful space because a lot of people who deal with physical challenges, this is definitely not something in their parameter that they think they could ever do again. We do it every week. The youth do it pretty regularly as well, but we strap them in there and we have these harnesses. And if you look, this guy right here, this is Stephen Mars. He has cerebral palsy, really severe case of cerebral palsy. And he has not a whole lot of use of most of his body, but you can see right here, you see his hands are kind of on this lever. He actually can push the lever down and he is pumping himself up the rock wall. And so he really is doing it himself, even if his feet aren't on the rocks. He is the one pulling himself up that rock wall. This is a powerful moment for a lot of people when they get to the top of that wall. We have a bell up there. They ring the bell. It's usually filled with a lot of tears, and it's very powerful when the members do this for the first time. I'm just going. Has there been any questions or anything, Renee? Is this going okay? I don't see any faces.
Yeah,
it's
no.
hard to know.
There have been no questions in the chat or
Okay, good.
hands raised that I could see.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is our therapeutic pool. We also have aquatic therapy at the center. So you can come and work either one-on-one, you can sign up for personal lessons or join some of the classes they have, and the youth like to use the pool a lot too. Okay, so this was just kind of a general rundown on just some of the programs that we offer at the center. And again, the whole goal is to aim at independence. And I want to go deeper into our adaptive sports programs and help answer any questions with that. But really quick, I have a video I'd love to share with you guys about our youth camp. So I'm going to let you guys watch the video and then I'll go into detail more about our youth programming. Let me stop sharing this and then I'll share my video. Okay. I'm going to hit play. Let me know if you don't hear it. I think you should be able to hear it. Okay. Come together. If I remember right, there's something I have to click in Snapchat. Share computer sound. There it is. There we go. Okay.
Camp Gets Centered,
Do you
where
hear now?
fun, adventure, and independence come together.
The Center for Individuals with Physical Challenges serves youth from 6 to 17 years old, and this is where the real magic happens. From spring, summer, and fall camps to after-school fun, our kids can participate in adaptive sports, go on awesome field trips, and do cool stuff like create art and conduct educational science experiments. Camp Get Centered is much more than just play. We help youth with physical challenges build confidence, set goals, speak up for themselves, and grow in independence. At the center, the mission is to provide opportunities to enhance the quality of life for individuals with physical challenges. And at Camp Get Centered, we start young and dream big. We welcome your support of the center and in particular, the youth school break camps. I love those kids. Summertime is probably the coolest time at the center as we have just youth everywhere. So throughout the school year, we have an after school program. So students are able to come after school and do activities. She has various, actually, maybe I'll pull up the website real quick. I'll share that with you guys too. Let's go, maybe this one. Okay, there it is. Okay, so this is our website, tulsacenter.org, and pretty much everything I've just shared with you, you can find on this website. But if you go to services, to our youth programming, we have it listed over here. So during the school year, World of Watercolor, wheelchair racing, wheelchair tennis, art-tastic, and adaptive climbing, which is where they climb on the rock wall. These are different classes that you can sign your kids up for during the school year, and they can come and participate in these programmings. She also takes them every year to Endeavor Games as well, and all of our youth, well, not all of our youth, but the youth that want to participate do. This last year, all of them placed first, second, or third, and was pretty excited. They did the wheelchair racing, which is where you're in it's a 3-chaired bike. And you kind of lean forward in it. And so it's definitely more athletic of a bike to be racing in. And they do relays and different things like that. And this is Kelly Evans right here. She is over all of our youth, and she is phenomenal and plans some of the most incredible activities for these kids to do for all of these activities and after school and all these things. But she does summer camp. And so each week is a day camp Monday through Friday. You can pay for 1 week or you can pay for the whole summer. It's totally up to you, but they come from 8:30 to 4, I want to say, and they are trying out wheelchair tennis, and they're trying out wheelchair racing, and she's taking them to go see the horses, and they've gotten to get on horses, a special place that is specially set up for kids with physical challenges. She had a drone workshop where these guys came and brought some of the coolest drones to the center, and all these kids got to fly these drones and try out all these different programs. It is really incredible what the youth get to do at the center. I always tell Kelly, if I could trade jobs with anyone, it would probably be Kelly, because she gets to be with the kids all the time. But they have this incredible experience there. Mostly it's the community. So all these things the center offers is phenomenal. It's really incredible, but really it's nothing compared to what the members offer each other. So these people come together, and like I said, I'm the odd man out as an able-bodied person. They come into the center surrounded by people like them, struggling with a physical challenge, struggling with a change of life, struggling to be independent, struggling to figure it out. And they are just brought into the fold. The members, the way they are with each other, is the most beautiful, encouraging, and soul uplifting thing I've experienced in my life. I cannot believe the way they love and support each other, and gives them that chance to find that community that we all so desperately want, despite an additional challenge like a physical challenge. When I came to the center. So I'm actually from Las Vegas, Nevada. I was born and raised there. I've been there like my whole life. And I found myself as a single mom at 24 with 3 kids and having to figure life out a bit. And then I married my husband. He was like my knight in shining armor because I really wanted to be this homeschool mom. I wanted a homestead. I had all these dreams. And being a single mom, I thought, well, that's never going to happen. And at the time I was waitressing. And so I put my kids in daycare. I had to work waitress. I'd get home that night, get the kids to bed, feed them dinner, see them for 5 seconds, it felt like. And then I was online going to school for education because I thought, well, if at least if I'm a teacher, they can be in my classroom with me. They can come when their class is over and not have to be in daycare. That was my big goal. I don't want them in daycare. And so that was my big push. But then, so that's what I was working on. I met my husband. He also has 3 kids. And so here we are, 6 kids, 5 and younger. We're crazy. And we just start hitting the road. We go to Southern Idaho and Northern Idaho and Utah. And now we ended up here. But about 10 years ago, we noticed some muscle atrophying on my husband's chest. Muscle was just disappearing. And he's a retired veteran. Like, he's an in-shape guy. It wasn't something I was pretty surprised to see. So we go through a lot of figuring out. It took us about 2 years to figure out. And he got diagnosed with a really rare form of muscular dystrophy. And this was a catastrophic thing in our life when this happened, to realize not only was this happening, but muscular dystrophy just keeps getting worse. Your muscles literally just atrophying all over your body. And so there's not a lot of hope for that kind of thing. And when we were going through this and finding this out, now I had to go to work. No longer am I home with the kids, homeschooling. Now I'm working. He's home and he's trying to deal with losing independence, losing his ability to provide, losing who he thought he was. Just, it was a tumultuous time. Did I say that right? Tumultuous, you know what I mean? It was a crazy time. And it was very hard. And we were figuring out in Utah, the high elevation was really brutal on him. So a year ago, a little over that now, we started looking more in the Midwest and the South for places with lower elevation. And this job popped up on Indeed, the Center for Individuals with Physical Challenges. And I was like, what is this place? And as I started to learn about the center, I was so shocked that a place like this exists. I just didn't know that was possible. And as a family, when you're going through some of the scariest things you've ever gone through in your life, what that would have changed to have the center in our lives supporting us as we were trying to figure out what avenue do we take next, what steps do we feel next. How many times my husband felt so alone and no one to talk to, how he could have found someone. And what's so beautiful about the center is it doesn't just help the member, not just the person with the physical challenge. We take on the caregivers, the families. If you're a member at the center, your whole family is welcome to attend. It is, we are 100% nonprofit, which means we don't make money off the memberships that people pay. Our kids' camps are a little more than our monthly membership, but that's because there's a lot of supplies to pay for. But it's only $20 a month to be a member. And then there's some other things that can make it up to $30 if you like, but it's only $20 a month to be a member. And I want to say our weekly camps are $150 a week for the kids' camps, $150 a week. And I just think that's incredible because that $20 a month gets the person with the physical challenge in the door, as well as the caregiver. You want to go and work out with your child, you want to go and take an art class with your spouse, whatever that may be, you can do that. But we take on the whole family because we know when you have someone you love going through something like that, it affects everyone around them, not just the individual. It affects them the most, but it affects all. And finding the center was a total breath of fresh air. I had no idea. And I've been all over the West. I haven't gone over the East yet, but I have not seen this anywhere to this caliber and this affordable. And it has changed our life to have a place my husband can feel connected and make friends with. My kids volunteer and work with all these amazing members, and it's an incredible place. And if any of you are close enough by, please call me and let's do a tour. I'd be so excited to show you what we have here at the center. And yeah, that's my spiel.
Um, I'm sorry, I didn't know if somebody else had a question, but you had referenced something called the Endeavor Games. Would you mind elaborating?
So, I'm still learning a bit about it, but it's like a Paralympic stepping platform to the Paralympics. Endeavor Games is a pretty big event here. Like the kids that place came with these big old fat medals. They were so proud of themselves, strutting their medals and things like that. But I want to say I can't answer enough about that to give you more details on the Endeavor Games specifically, but it is tied to Paralympics and it is a fun stepping stone in the adaptive world. That's all I know. Sorry.
Nancy's got her hand up. So Nancy, do you want to go ahead with your question?
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say that is amazing center I can hear before. So my question is, do you something for the Hispanic speakers?
So we do have, and this was a big part when we took on deaf and hard of hearing department, which meant we took on interpreters. And these interpreters speak ASL and Spanish, so they do both. We also have someone like we have our application, we have it in Spanish and in English. We have someone who will help once a month convert some of our documents into Spanish for our Spanish speaking members. We do have a good group of Spanish members at the center. I'm always like, hola, I'd like pretend I can speak Spanish, but I can't, but I pretend. There is definitely Spanish speaking there. I wouldn't say we have any classes necessarily directly for, but our interpreters are amazing, and our deaf and hard of hearing department kind of falls all on that side, but they are in touch with so many resources. If you need an interpreter for court or doctor's office or any of those things, we can get you in touch with those services, which mostly if you speak Spanish or American Sign Language, it is required by federal law that courts, doctor's offices, traffic tickets, all that you have representation in your own language. And so it's a wonderful feature. I don't know if that's the right word, but wonderful service we offer. And all of that comes free of charge to you as an individual. So
wow,
it's pretty incredible. Amazing. Yeah. I've watched these one gals. She worked with this family. They came over here. They were working on their citizenship. And so they actually helped them go through the whole process to get their citizenship, help them find jobs, help them make sure their kids were set up in the schools in their area. I mean, they go above and beyond. When I hear what our interpreters do, I'm always just blown away. So yeah, for sure.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much. And that is amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Let's see.
I actually had another question. You had mentioned like wheelchair racing. What is kind of like the difference between wheelchair racing and wheelchair cycling? And forgive me if I'm saying the wrong term, but
no, you're totally fine. We have both. So we have adaptive cycling and then we have wheelchair racing. And so adaptive cycling, you're more in just a race against yourself. It's a little more leisurely. It's not as intense. And then we have several different bikes that go out for the adaptive cycling. So we have like the incumbent bikes where you recline back, but you're still using your legs to pedal, right? Or you have where you lean forward and you're using your hands to do the pedaling. And then we have tandem bikes where there's like two on there. So some of our blind members hop on the back and someone drives them around and they get to do cycling too. And then, so the super sporty like chairs. So I'm talking wheelchair basketball, wheelchair softball, and then the wheelchair racing. These are very durable chairs. They also aren't meant to just slow down somewhat naturally. Does that make sense? Sometimes your wheelchair, if you're not pushing it, kind of these, you could get it moving with just your hips. It's pretty crazy how easily they move. And like someone in a sports wheelchair can jerk to the right and that chair is going to go right. And they don't have to manipulate it with their hands. It's pretty impressive. And the wheels actually are wide. They kind of come at the slant. So it's like a really wide base. It won't fit through a door, a sports chair won't. And again, it just gives them more control of the chair while they're in it. The wheelchair racing, let me see, I think I have a picture of one of these kiddos in their bike. Where am I? Marketing. Sorry, I could have had this ready sooner. Hold on. Use. So here. Adapted Adventures, not that one. Well, here's kind of one. It's not in color, but you can kind of get the gist of it. Share my screen. Sorry. There it is. I'm like, where'd it go? It was on top. Now it's on the bottom. No. So you can kind of see here, make it bigger. Come here. Oh, no, I'm just clicking through, but these are some of them. So this is one kiddo uses. It really just depends on what your challenge is, what your level. So like this little guy right here, he actually has his legs. They're just tucked under him because he doesn't use his legs. And you can see he's using his hands to power the chair. And so depending on what your challenge is though, because you see right here, she's using, this is for like bicycling. I don't know, like as opposed to here is a race. This would be a leisure bike. Anyways, I don't know for sure, but there's several different chairs for all kinds of different various, activities, depending on what they're doing. Like even power soccer chairs are completely different power chairs than regular, which it's just been very educational working here. I had no idea there were so many different types.
Another question. Just, given the diversity in chairs, by sport, are these, kind of sporty chairs, are those chairs that that the clients bring or members bring, or just how does that work?
So we have a ton of chairs that we keep here for, so like I was telling you guys, I get my steps in pretty easily every day at the center. It's such a huge building. So we even have power chairs for people to use, even doing a tour. If you can't get through the building, we have a chair you can sit in to help you get through. But then in like our basketball team, we have a whole closet full of basketball chairs, and our power soccer team, we have a whole closet full of power chairs. And so we definitely have the chairs to support a team. We have softball chairs, basketball chairs, tennis. I think tennis and softball use the same. And then we have a ton of different bikes for like the hand cycling, or if you want to do the incumbent or the tandem, and those are all here now at the center for you to use.
I wondered what the learning curve, especially on that sports wheelchair that you said you could manipulate with your hips.
Yeah.
do they go through some kind of training? And
Oh yeah,
how does that go?
which I don't know if it's like a specific training, but you definitely work really close. So our adaptive sports coordinator, his name is Anthony Meadows. He's been with us for like 15 years. He actually is a gunshot victim. He was shot when he was 19 and is paralyzed from the waist down and runs all of our sports teams. This guy is a beast. Let me tell you, on the court, when he's playing basketball, any sport he does, it's very intense. I played basketball all through high school. And so when I watched the first wheelchair basketball practice I had ever seen before, I just thought, wow, you guys make able-bodied people look really weak. It's very intense. I mean, they're getting thrown from their wheelchairs and they just get back in there. It's like very aggressive. Some of the sports, not all of them are that intense, but wheelchair basketball is pretty intense. And so Anthony and some of the other coaches, there's Coach Bradley and then Bert, they will help you as you're adjusting. We have practices and all these things that happen at the center. And so they definitely give you time and pointers on how to use the chair. I don't think they have an actual like crash course. Even like for our cycling Wednesday mornings, the members like to go, they go to River Trail and ride their bikes outside through in the beautiful by the lake right there, or yeah, river, not lake, river. But they do have to see Margie and pass a little test first to show before she takes them out of the center to ride the bikes. And so we clear out the gym and we use the gym and have them do a few cycling mobility things just to make sure they're in the right bike and that they really can handle that kind of an adventure.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be dominating with the questions, but
No, you're fine.
just hearing about you know, the games like, you know, wheelchair basketball or soccer, is there a place for just spectators from the community to come watch something like that? I would love to take my family to something like that, but if that's not something, but how does that work?
So if you follow my Facebook page, you guys will know whenever we're hosting a game. But we do once a year, we host a huge basketball tournament. We host a huge tennis tournament. And I don't think we've hosted softball yet, but we also host a huge bocce ball tournament, which is it's definitely a slower paced game. Bocce, if any of you, you'll have to look into it. But anyways, your question was again, sorry.
Sorry, I just wondered how you know, members of the community could
Oh yes, yes.
to come watch.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned, you know, Facebook, but and then you were going into just the tournaments that you guys
That we
yeah,
host.
that you
Yeah,
host.
yeah. Yeah, and so we always post, you usually can come for free to come watch a game. We don't have like concession or anything, but we have some bleachers and we usually do one big wheelchair tournament. It was pretty big and was pushing on Facebook, come watch the game. And then like they go to La Fortune Park a lot for the tennis. And we have a really great relationship with La Fortune Park. And so we host a bunch of different wheelchair tennis camps and all kinds of stuff at and team up with La Fortune. So that's actually more at La Fortune than the center, but they're working with the center to put it on. So it's our coaches and everything organizing and putting it on, but just at La Fortune's amazing tennis facility. So yeah, lots of stuff.
Awesome. And then I know that the Deaf and Hard of Hearing Services is hosting a camp that's coming up. I realize that's a little bit outside of what, you know, I asked you to cover.
No, it totally applies. I should have mentioned it actually when I was talking about the camps.
Would you mind addressing that?
Yeah, no, for sure. So any child who is deaf or hard of hearing can come to any of the camps anytime. But there is 1 week out of those summer camp weeks where it's completely deaf community focused, meaning all the camp counselors and the teachers, they're all signing. Most of them are deaf themselves, and it's very much geared towards the deaf and hard of hearing. And CODAs, which are children of deaf adults or siblings to the deaf child. Sometimes the deaf child can feel so isolated because they can't communicate with anyone, and they can go to this, but then their siblings can't come. And so it's kind of nice. Like, we like to include everybody, but there's an amazing camp for our deaf youth. It's called Water Everywhere. And she's going to be doing her name's Diana, running this camp. And they're going to be doing all kinds of water science experiments, playing in the waters, exploring water, from fun to educational. So it should be really fun.
And I think it read it was from July 21st through the 25th, and
That's correct. Yeah.
Daily 9 a to 3 p. And ages 7 to 13 are we're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then any kids older than that that are wanting to be a part, they still can. We'll have them as camp counselors in training, and they kind of come in more of a supportive role than necessarily. They still get to have all the fun, but they're not the, they're there to help deliver the fun.
As a parent of a child that swims competitively, I know you had a therapeutic pool, but do you do any adaptive competitive swimming?
I wish. We so far don't have that currently, but we keep adding on every year as we have those. Our aquatic pool is it's kind of a square. I don't think you could really do laps or anything like that in there. And so that could be one day. We could add on more to the center one day maybe, but we'd need a better pool for sure. That'd be fun to look into getting going though at the center, but currently no, there's no aquatic racing or competitive aquatic. Yeah.
And then you mentioned your husband. What are his favorite activities, sports wise or art wise, at the center?
Oh, good question. So we do air rifle and trap shooting. We take them over to Zinc Ranch and they go shooting. And of course, that's my husband's absolute favorite activity, go shooting. And then he really likes just coming to the different events we do. We do a lot of fundraisers through the year trying to raise funds. And so he likes to be a part of that. And then he likes art. My husband actually makes these really incredible canes with pool sticks, and then the pool ball is the hand that you hold when you walk. They're really, really impressive. He's excited to try selling some at Holiday Mart this year. So yeah, that's what he does. He does the art and the shooting. For him, some of the physical activities are, and he likes yoga too. Yoga has been great to keep him moving without damaging what muscle is left. So yoga's all our staff. I love all of our staff, so they're good.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, does anyone have any other questions or thoughts or well, Cherie, thank you so much for being here and also for sharing your story. That, given that you've got that lived experience of being a family, really adds some passion to your work, I'm sure. But I'm very appreciative of your time, but also that you were willing to, share your story with us.
I'm very happy to do so. I think it's kind of magical the way it all comes together, and how much that story even helps me in my own job. I think is it's just God works in mysterious ways, so I just think it all came together beautifully. But thank you so much for having me on and talking about the center. I hope I didn't go too long. And
No, you did.
yeah and it was cohesive enough. I haven't had to talk this long. The max I've had this point since I've been at the center was 10 minutes. So I was like, whew, okay, gotta break this down. So I'm excited that I could do it.
Oh, no, you have been fabulous and so informative. We really appreciate everybody being here. And
Yes.
I'm going to drop a survey, like evaluation, just it's for, we do this on all of our Oklahoma Family Network events or trainings. And I'm going to email this out to you too. But if you could kindly let us know, just fill out the evaluation. It's pretty painless. So,
Yeah.
but again, but thank you everyone for coming. And it's been fabulous. I've learned a lot. And I'm sure everyone else has. So thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Happy to be here. And I'm sure, will you be sharing, maybe I'll put my email in case somebody wants to come and do a tour. Would that be helpful, you feel like?
Yeah, I can just give me a minute and I can drop it in there.
Okay. I was just thinking, oh, I should have put it out there. You can email me and I can get you guys set up with, especially in the youth programming or wherever you're looking for, I'll get you better dialed in with the right person.
Just give me, I'm almost there. I'm just gonna, are you all right with me putting kind of like what's in your byline for email?
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Here we go.
There it is. Yep, that's my work number and my cell. So now you guys can all get a hold of me if you need to. I hope you come check out the center. It's such a benefit to every individual in the family, not just the person with the physical challenge, but especially the person with the physical challenge. So it's a great place to be. If you're still not sure, I'm telling you, come see it for yourself. It's amazing. See the members, see what we're doing there. The light and the joy is just, it's encompassing. It's great. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. I guess we could, stop the recording and we can give you a few more minutes of your evening back to be with your family. But we'll be here next month in August, and we're going to have kind of like a special education overview by the Oklahoma Parent Center. So we're pretty excited about that. But stay cool, stay hydrated, and have a great evening.